Why do some people replay a conversation from 3 years ago at 2 in the morning and can't make it stop? A sentence you said, a look someone gave you, a moment that everyone else forgot the next day. But you didn't. You carried it. You turned it over 1,000 times looking for the thing you got wrong. You've been told you think too much, that you're overthinking, that you should just let it go. But psychology has a more surprising answer. The problem was never that you think too much. It's something underneath the thinking, something no one ever taught you to see. That's where we begin. Let's name what this actually feels like, because most people never do. It's the conversation that ended hours ago, but your mind is still in it, still arguing, still explaining, still defending. It's lying in bed, exhausted, with a body that wants to sleep and a mind that refuses. It's reading a single message 5 times, searching for a hidden meaning that probably isn't there. And here is the cruel part. The more you think, the further you get from peace. Thinking feels like you're solving something. It feels productive. So you keep doing it, waiting for the moment the thinking finally delivers an answer and lets you rest. But that moment never comes. Because this kind of thinking was never designed to find answers. It was designed to do something else entirely. And to understand what, we have to go deeper than the thoughts themselves. The psychologist Carl Jung spent his life studying what happens beneath the surface of the mind, the part of us we are not aware of. He called it the unconscious. And he observed something that changes how we understand overthinking completely. Jung noticed that when something inside us goes unfaced, a fear, a hurt, a part of ourselves we don't want to look at, it does not simply disappear, it stays, and it presses upward, looking for a way into our awareness. But most of us have learned not to feel these things directly. Feeling them is uncomfortable, so the mind does something clever and quietly destructive. It converts the feeling into thought. Instead of feeling the fear of not being enough, you replay the meeting where you think you looked stupid. Instead of feeling the grief of a friendship that faded, you analyze again and again what you could have done differently. The thinking is not the problem. The thinking is a mask. It is the mind's way of staying busy, so it never has to feel what is actually underneath. Jung had a phrase for this kind of avoidance. He said that what we do not bring into consciousness comes to us as fate. It returns again and again in another form. The overthinker is not lost in their thoughts by accident. They are circling something they have not yet been willing to look at directly. This is why telling an overthinker to just stop thinking never works. You cannot stop the thinking because the thinking is a guard standing in front of a door. Remove the guard without opening the door and the mind simply hires a new one, a new worry, a new loop, a new 2 a.m. conversation to replay. The way out was never to think less. It was to finally look at what the thinking has been protecting you from. And that requires a completely different relationship with your own mind. So here is the reframe, the new way to see yourself. You are not broken. You are not too much. Your overthinking is not a flaw in your character. It is intelligence that was handed a job it was never meant to do, the job of protecting you from your own feelings. And the moment you understand that, something shifts. The next time you catch yourself looping at 2 in the morning, you can ask a different question. Not what is wrong with me, but what am I trying not to feel right now? That question is uncomfortable, but it is also a door. Because the feeling underneath, the fear, the hurt, the grief, is almost always smaller than the years of thinking you've built on top of it. The thinking is exhausting. The feeling, faced directly, often lasts only minutes. Jung believed that wholeness does not come from defeating the parts of ourselves we dislike. It comes from turning toward them. The overthinking mind is not your enemy. It is a frightened part of you that has been working overtime, trying to keep you safe the only way it knew how. You don't quiet it by fighting it. You quiet it by listening to what it was protecting all along. So before you go, here is the one thing I'll ask you to sit with. The next time your mind won't stop, pause and ask what it's trying not to feel. Don't answer it tonight, just ask. That single question is where the real work begins. If this gave you a way of seeing yourself you hadn't found before, the next video builds directly on it, and it's waiting for you on the screen right now.